And we are live, I guess. Welcome. Hello, everybody. How are you? So today I was a little bit anxious to start the live because I know that some of my friends are joining and they are going to be watching me for probably like an hour, me talking and discussing the market trends. And when I do get anxious, I kind of like, do this thing with my hand. But here we are. How is your day? How are you? So I believe that today is gonna be like a really good live. Just because the rest of my day went really great. I woke up this morning and I studied a little bit for university. Then I went to my driving lesson. I returned back. I uploaded like a short on YouTube, a reel on Instagram, and a TikTok. And I decided to jump here and do this live stream because I haven't done that in a while. I know that everything looks like I'm under siege, to be honest. Like everything is so blue. Okay, so let me just pull up the charts. No, the charts, the chat in front of me so I can see it from my phone in case we have some questions for tonight. I believe the record amount of people that joined the live stream, like last times, it was like 9 people out of nowhere. I don't understand how the algorithm works. But I believe that this is like a nice time to be having a live stream. I don't know where are you guys watching us from, but here we are. So, okay, I can clearly see the chat right now, so we're going to move on with this live stream. As you can see from the title is Debunking Trading Myths and some chart analysis, obviously, because that's what we do right here. Now, when I say debunking trading myths, I believe that trading has a lot of bad reputation and a lot of misconceptions are surrounding it, just because a lot of people perceive it as gambling. And I didn't know that was such a big thing. So I never talk about my trading with my friends, like barely. I've been trading for like 1.5 years and I've like never mentioned that I've traded. Until now that I started to like create content and upload like reels on Instagram and whatever. So it was a surprise for me that the first reaction of like the people I was talking to about like trading was like, okay, so it's like you're gambling. It's like you're going to a casino and you're giving your money away or something like that. But this is just not true. This is like completely false. Well, I believe that everything can be gambling in case you treat it as gambling. So for example, if yes, I wake up some morning and I decide to like bet my money and going long on a position without having the right signals and indications, of course it is gambling. But it should not be like that, honestly, and it would be like too responsible to do that. I mean, would you guys like see me and assume that I gamble? Like this is insane. Come on. All right. I do have my glass of water by my side. And before I like discuss this subject even more and broaden it up, I would like to bring some charts up and just mention that I didn't have like a good week. Last week was not a great week for me. So I have not placed that many trades this week because I was a little skeptical. Well, of course, we do have oil in front of us in the charts. And as you can see, my watch list right here has been a little bit small lately. So as I said in the previous live stream, I do not only trade oil, gold, Euro USD, and GBP, JPY, but these are my 4 main elements that I trade and that I find that I'm most profitable in. So last week that I closed the week with a loss, I was overwhelmed, and during the weekend I decided to remove some of the extra elements I was watching. So I do like having some extra elements here to watch how they move. For example, like the indices, copper, platinum, Bitcoin, all of those things I do not trade. Okay, I did have a big loss in the indices, to be honest. And that's why I removed them. But I also decided to remove every single one of them. I removed Bitcoin, I removed copper, I removed platinum. I like watching these elements, but I do believe that in order to build like a really, strong relationship with the other elements, it's best for me to keep everything else out of my view and have those 4 elements in my trading view. No pun intended. So, we do have oil and gold in our commodities, and Euro USD and GBP JPY in Forex. Now, oil is at a really, really, really good point, I believe. Like, if it crosses my line, I believe I will get into a move, but let's just start from the beginning. Let's look at let me remove that from the, from the view. Where should I put it? Okay, we'll put it here for the moment. Let's go to the daily time frame, shall we? So as we can see, oil did break a really significant downward trend. It was heading downwards for a really long time, and it finally broke out of this trend. We do have 1, 2, 3 touch points here, and as we can see, it broke out of this trend. We do have a little bit of consolidation here, but the thing is that I am waiting for the next long move. I believe that oil could even reach these highs right here, or even my horizontal line over there, but I do need some confirmation to do that. Now, going back to my 4-hour time frame, we can see that oil has bounced from this green trend line that has been keeping the price up for not a really long time, but for 1.5 months. And it has created like a steep, I would say steep downward trend line right here that it's almost like ready to break. It has like 3-ish touch points. I mean, they're really close to each other. One with the other are really close, but I do consider them as touch points. So we do have 1 touch point here, 2 touch points here, and 3 touch points here. So if price breaks, I'm considering a long position. Now, as a swing trader, I do not really like watching the 1-hour time frame, but I did take a look at the 1-hour time frame here. And I believe that if I was not a swing trader and I was a day trader, I would be excited for this move because it looks really good on the 1-hour time frame. It does look good on the 4-hour time frame, but the thing is that whenever you just level up a time frame, the lines get steeper and steeper. That's it. So, what problems do I face with trading? I did have, as you know, a huge overtrading problem, a huge revenge trading problem, and I believe that I'm done with them. Like, in order to get through them, you just need to have experience. You just need to taste how a real loss feels. You just need to lose money in the market. And after you lose money in the market and you have this miserable feeling in your soul, deep in your heart, then you're like, okay, I'm not doing that again. Let me just trade carefully and not jump into a trade whenever you see like a mediocre setup. So this is exactly what happened. I don't even remember the last time that I overtraded. I definitely overtraded in 2024. And what I mean by overtrading is like, I get into a position, it goes extremely bad, and then I just get in. I jump in the market again, then I close this trade, I reverse, I jump in again, I reverse, I jump in again. You know how that goes. And all of that being unsuccessful, obviously. So I'm not doing that. I'm not losing my money like that anymore. I am respecting my capital. However, one thing that I noticed that I do have, one problem that I noticed that I do have, is not overtrading, not revenge trading, but I do scale up on my positions and I go so aggressive with them without any reason. Obviously, when you take less trades, you want to pick up like the best setups for you, and whenever you get into a trade, you believe that, hey, this is like a setup that is going to work. And as I can see from my win rate, it's not exactly this case. It's not exactly that case. It like this does not happen. So one thing that I should do probably to like avoid overscaling in my positions is definitely have some risk management involved. Just keep my risk management in track and do not scale up into my positions without no reason. And again, be even pickier with my setups. I believe that this is what I should do. Now, looking at this chart again right here with oil, I believe that when it crosses, I will get in, even though the price has been, this trend line has been really steep. So another thing that makes me feel kind of safe is that my support is underneath my price and it's relatively close along with my upward trend line that is keeping the price up. So that gives me even more, a little bit of, safety. It's not the right word, but I do feel a little bit more safe having the support right here. Now, keep in mind that I do not have alerts on my support, just as I do have on my trend lines. I just have them there, and I do have them with dotted lines because they distract me. So I just want to like see them, but not really pay attention to them. I like to draw them and know where they are, but they're not a sign for me to jump into a trade. I only jump into a trade when a trend line breaks. So let's just see some of the other elements for now. Now, whenever I look at elements, I do like seeing them from like a weekly standpoint, from a daily view, and then going down into the time frames until I settle down at the 4-hour time frame, which is like my main thing. So like obviously looking at gold, obviously we can see that gold has been just going up and up and up. I don't have an indication that it may reverse. I cannot even form a trend line. I could do something like that. But for me, this trend line, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I picked the wrong thing. I could draw something like that, but I don't believe that this is like something significant. And I have to take that into consideration. I mean, it's not even, in my mind, it's not an accurate trend line. Just because the touch points are not, it's just not convincing enough for me that this could be like a really good trend line, that if it breaks, it would be a right opportunity for me to go long. And my opposing trend line is really far away from the price. So I'm just leaving gold as it is with my trend lines over here. And now we're moving to Euro USD. Euro USD is going down, down, and down. Like the trend is obviously bearish. And I'm just waiting for price to tell me what to do. So right now, I believe that it is really possible for the price of Euro USD to come all the way down to this horizontal line. Let's look at the daily. So we can say that it has been in a range since 2022, December of 2022. It's been going up, down, up, down, up, down. But it is trapped between that range. It tried to break out of here. Over there, it didn't. It tried to break out. It didn't. It just snapped right back. And it's trapped between that range. Now, if price comes all the way down here and we do have some consolidation and it can form like a better trend line, and this trend line breaks, I would consider going long. But for now, I'm just leaving it as it is. Maybe it won't even touch this point until the next week or whatever. So I'm just chilling. And I'm waiting for the other instruments to do their move. GBP/JPY. Now, GBP/JPY, I don't know. I had a losing trade as well here. Like after my previous live stream ended, my stop loss got hit. It was a minimal loss, but it was still a loss. And we can see that the price is over here. It is at a point where it has previously been. In 2015, I was 15 years old, and it completely reversed. So I'm just tracking the price with some steeper and steeper trend lines, and I'm waiting to see what happens. But for now, it is like really far away from both of my trend lines. So I'm just waiting to see. The main, the main element that I'm watching right now, and I do have my eyes on, it is gold. It is really gold. Oil. And the thing about trading is that when I started, I did have the assumption that you need like to trade 100 instruments, and you have to always keep your eyes open for opportunities in different instruments. The reality is, however, that you don't really need to be watching 100 instruments and trade all of them in order to be profitable. Honestly, you just need one. You just need like 2, 3. I do have 4. And that's like more than enough for me. And I have noticed in the past that these instruments do give me like 1 or 2 good setups a month, which in the long run, they are really good setups. And these are plenty of chances to capitalize and make money on the market. I do notice then whenever I have like multiple instruments in my watch list, and I get like multiple alerts, I do enjoy watching them and I do enjoy analyzing them. However, it is distracting and it takes like more time than I wanted it to take. So for example, here 4 elements are like enough. I don't need more. Now let's go back to the misconceptions and the myths of trading. What I was saying is that, let me just take it all the way back and tell you like the beginning and the origin of what I am trying to say. So what I'm trying to say is that my friends believe that I'm gambling for some reason. From the moment that I not showcased, but from the moment that I made public that I do trade, whenever I have a conversation with them, they always come to the point that me as a trader is some form of gambling, which is not correct. In reality, like the successful traders and the ones that make it and that they're like profitable, they do have a strategy, they do have an edge, which tells them exactly what they need to do. This strategy that you evolve within the years and within the practice or whatever tells you when to enter a trade, when to close a trade, how much you should be, how much money you should bet on that trade, how heavy you should go into that trade, and that's it. You get in, you get out, all according to the strategy. Now, if one of those parameters can be changed a little bit, and for example, I get into a trade because of emotion, or I do get into a trade because of like feeling or hope, then yes, this is probably gambling and I should probably get some help and stop. And I do believe that every trader has been through that phase. Like every trader has experienced some form of not being in control and having their emotions take control of them, actually. So I did that. Everybody has done it. You place trades on feelings sometimes. Now, I want to differentiate feeling and intuition. For example, intuition for me is something that I believe that I gain with experience, and it helps me differentiate the good scenarios from the bad scenarios. That's it. Now, emotion, you should not really care what a trade does when you open it. Like you don't know and you don't care. You have your risk management in place. So whatever happens, you should be 100% happy with the result and with the outcome. This is what I had to say to you all tonight. And this is one of the lessons that I guess you just learn over time and with a lot of effort and with a lot of pain and with a lot of discipline. Now, it's really easier said than done. And I know that when you hear someone say all these simple things, you're just like, okay, but this sounds so simple. But when you get into the market and you really experience the waves of it and the market conditions or whatever, then you realize that maybe it's not that easy as it may sound in the beginning. Let me close that up so we can clearly see oil going up and breaking my trend line so I can enter a long position. I don't think this will happen during my live though. I'm already here for 20 minutes and I believe I will be here for 10 more so we can close half an hour together. Another misconception that a lot of people have is that trading is something that can make you rich quick, like a get rich scheme, which is another dumb thing to believe. Honestly, if you think that trading can make you rich, you should really search into it and maybe change your opinions about it. What I mean by that is that, of course, yes, as a beginner trader, I entered the trading world believing that everything is like, what is the correct word? I believe that within the first couple months I would be profitable. However, I cannot lie to you guys. I wish I could, like the most influencers out there. But I am not profitable. No shade to the other influencers. Actually, I am shading the other influencers because I know that there are people out there, like the majority of people out there, they are making like fake podcasts. They are setting up fake podcasts and they're setting up fake interviews and talking about trading while in reality, they don't know nothing. 1 week ago, I came across this channel, like another YouTube channel, where there is a trader that exposes other fake traders. And I was like, wow, this is so fascinating that like there are so many fake influencers out there. Maybe a channel should be created dedicated to the ones that do actually trade and share like their profits or their losses with transparency. Because obviously a trader can share their wins and make sense. But if you don't share the bad side of it, I feel like you're not completely transparent and it's not okay to, your viewers probably. Now, I'm gonna be real, I really do like this blue background right here, like it really pops. And I didn't want to make everything blue, but I did, and I don't regret it. It literally looks like I'm underwater and there are some LED lights and I'm waiting for the fishes to come around over here. But yeah, what was I saying? Debunking trading myths. I mean, I could go all day talking about trading myths and how a lot of people that do not trade. Oh, I mean, it is 100% okay to have an opinion and that opinion being wrong, just because if you don't know how to trade and you have not experienced trading, obviously you're gonna have some perspectives that are not correct, and that is okay. This happens all the time. So this is why if someone wants to search for it, they can educate themselves on every single topic on the internet. The internet is here for that reason. Now, I would love to do an analysis on copper. Should I do that? Let me just go on copper and find it, because copper has done some really interesting moves lately. Copper. Where is the... There we go. Oh. Nope. Nope. Is not correct. I should... Yeah. I think copper is XCU. Yeah, XCU USD. I do have it marked up from like previous times. That's interesting. Let's just look at the daily first. So of course we don't have all the data here that we need to see just because we are in the EU Oanda EU clients. So for some reason Oanda does not give all data for the EU clients. So this is what we're working with right now. But I have seen it. Let me actually never mind. Let's not find it right now. Looking at the daily time frame, we can see. First of all, let me delete all those lines because one day I will get alerts and I don't know, and I would not know where they're coming from. So we can see that copper broke out of this downward trend that it was in. I did capitalize on a long position here, and I caught a little bit of that. And the short position here, I caught that too. These are like 2 out of the 3 trades I only placed in copper overall in my trading experience. And I believe that if we do look at my TradeZella stuff, in my TradeZella stats, copper is one element that I'm profitable in, considering the trades that I've taken. However, the fees are like kind of high for like me as a forex, as a person that uses like a forex broker. So for now, I am avoiding it and I'm sticking to my 4 main. Now, I was also looking at Trade and other futures brokers that do not have like significant amount of fees. And I also saw that copper has a contract that was like a micro, and it was actually really cheap. So I believe that when I start building my capital, I will do keep my forex broker open so I can trade Euro USD and JPY, and I will open like a futures broker so I can trade all the other commodities and maybe indices, or like, you know, gold, oil, and copper, platinum there without having significant amount of fees. That was it. Perfect. Now we're just looking at this trade right here. And if you're watching this live stream from like, you know, like a certain point, like from the future, you will see if this trade works out or not. I will probably post it in my community section because I do believe that tonight oil will break out of this short downward trend and I will enter along. That was my rant for today. I will not call it a rant, actually. I will just call it my thoughts for today. These were my thoughts for today. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and I will see you in the next live stream. Good night or good morning, whatever. When I don't know where you're from, so see you.